Professional basketball has a sense of style that is unique to the world of sports. The glowing arenas, fashionable apparel, and high speed of the game are all unmatched. On the court, it's not just about the win or the loss, it's about the way you look doing it. NBA 2K19 builds upon its strong gameplay, fantastic presentation, and wide array of game modes to embody this attitude. Its style is cramped a bit by the small number of legacy issues and obscene microtransactions, but other than that, NBA 2K19 is a high point for the series. This year's NBA 2K places a tremendous amount of emphasis on ball control and maximizing your players' abilities. Hitting a step-back jumper with Steph Curry or a fadeaway with LeBron is more satisfying than ever. But because of some of those changes, NBA 2K19 has a tougher learning curve than in the past, one that rewards skill and punishes novice play. Successful dribble drives are much more difficult, with big men no longer content to let smaller players right to the hoop. Animations look fantastic, but the catch is that the complex nature of the controls and movement system can lead to some really unflattering moments. An unsuccessful attempt to make a move often results in your player awkwardly running into the defender, like this.
Attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
While it's an improvement over previous iterations, NBA 2K19 still lags behind in the fast break. The floor spacing is a little better, but everything seems too slow. These are supposed to be some of the fastest athletes in the world, after all. The AI does, however, do a nice job of distributing the ball to its playmakers, which really accentuates how different every player feels.
Henson with the screen. Here's Antetokounmpo. He scores the basket. That's field goal.
Predicting what moves your opponent will make and when they'll make them becomes of the utmost importance, especially if you don't have a strong defense behind you. It's been a long time since the defensive side of things has been this interesting and engaging, but it helps keep NBA 2K19 fun all of the time instead of just half of it.
Digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative for sure.
And it started out with the rebounding. It sets a tone.
With the exception of some inconsistencies in player physique, NBA 2K19 is a masterclass in presentation. Clever in-game commentary can keep even a blowout interesting with small anecdotal stories or interviews with players that add to the impact of what they're doing on the court.
Massages right before the games and the stretching and all that. Now I'm in the same shoes, I do all that stuff now, and you almost do as much off the court as you practice on the court.
Similarly entertaining are the pre- and post-game shows from Ernie Johnson Jr., Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal. They possess the same unique chemistry and charm in NBA 2K19 as they do on TNT, providing both useful insight and comedic delivery that break up the seriousness of a sports match.
How do you stay fresh for the long haul?
Oh man, I have this drink I put together.
Oh really? What is it?
Oh yeah, it's a little, like I take tomatoes, right? And I squish them up and it gets real like tomato sauce. And I put that in. And then I take kale salad. I put that in.
What are you
I
making,
put
spaghetti?
ginger. I put ginger in it.
Yeah.
Put that in. I put a little cayenne pepper in. A little bell pepper.
Sounds disgusting.
Ernie, he's making lasagna over there.
There are several ways to digest NBA 2K19's strong look and feel. The best, and perhaps the only mode that matches the intensity of the complex mechanics, is My League, which allows you to build your own NBA franchise with an inordinate amount of customization. NBA 2K19 also enjoys its strongest My Career mode yet with The Way Back, which is much more story-focused than in previous years.
It was a smoke detector! If it didn't go off, you'd all be dead right now! You're welcome!
The story centers around an undrafted basketball player named AI, whose story is both personal and pragmatic. It never lacks for interesting conflict, but it does start to run out of creative juice toward the back end of its 5-hour run. A lack of impactful decision-making and the poor teammate grading system are the only real issues with it. Not all of the modes are as worthwhile as My League and My Career, though. Blacktop is NBA 2K's street basketball mode, and though it isn't bad, it lacks the exaggerated attitude of something like NBA Jam. Most disappointing is the My Team mode. where card packs and infuriatingly overpriced microtransactions dominate the experience. Online play is pretty good, with the largest issue being a very small delay between the push of a button and the resulting action. At its worst, there are some instances where it would freeze altogether. All the same, the thrill of going back and forth with another player is still worth the effort. For many, basketball is more than just a game, and NBA 2K19 doesn't take that lightly. It throws every resource it has into the theatrics of the sport, creating Charismatic Presentation, a well-written story mode, and strong core gameplay. The series' persistent weaknesses are still apparent in areas like the transition game and ludicrous microtransactions, but there's so much variety to how extensive My League mode plays out that there's always a reason to look forward to the next game of basketball. For more sports games, check out our reviews of NBA Live 19, Madden NFL 19, and Pro Evolution Soccer 2019. And for everything else, stick with IGN.
So it's Minnesota taking the W in a close one. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continued.